So, you want to learn about the Cave of the Crystals? Well, you've come in the right place. So how and when was this site formed? This all began 26 million years ago when volcanic activity created the Nika Mountains and filled it with high temperature anhydrite, which is a form of gypsum that lacks water. When magma underneath the mountain cooled and the temperature dropped below 58 degrees Celsius, the anhydrite began to dissolve. The anhydrite slowly enriched the water with sulfate and calcium molecules, which for millions of years have been deposited in the caves in the form of huge selenite gypsum crystals. Its floor is covered in crystalline, perfectly faceted blocks. The huge crystal beams jut out from both the blocks in the floor. The Cave of Crystals is a horseshoe-shaped cavity in limestone rock about 30 feet wide and 90 feet long. To give you a good idea what that looks like, that's about the size of a basketball court or 13.1 shacks. So what type of rocks or material is it made of? How do we know about its formation history? The Cave of Crystals itself is filled with water that is rich in calcium sulfate. The composition of the large crystals in the cave is selenite, which is a form of calcium sulfate. Another name for selenite is gypsum. These giant crystals protrude from all surfaces of the cave, including the ceiling. The color of the crystals is a milky and transparent white, which is the result of calcium sulfate as well. The cave was first discovered in 1910 by the Peñoles Mining Company. The cave was located in the Nika Mountains of Mexico and quickly came to be known as Cueva de las Espadas, which translates to the Cave of Swords. This cave was open for exploration tourism, however, it's destroyed many of the fragile crystals. 90 years later, two miners discovered a much larger cave of crystals located 300 meters underneath the surface. This cave is what is now known as the Cave of the Crystals, or Cueva de los Cristales. The crystals in this cave are much larger than the crystals found in the original cave. In the Cave of the crystals found measured over 12 meters as compared to the original crystals in the Cave of Swords, which measured up to be only 2 meters. Exploration of these caves ceased in 2017 in order to preserve the crystals and formations. The mining exploration of these caves initially depended on water mining, and further exploration of the caves would have required crystal removal. After mining ceased, the water pumps were removed and the caves were allowed to naturally refill with underground water. So what's so special about these caves? Well, nothing actually. Not until recently at least. For the everyday person, they see this as a huge marvel, a landform with nice and shiny crystals. In the early 2000s though, NASA researchers have discovered microbial life trapped in an air bubble which has probably been dormant for 50,000 years. There is potential that this site could be important for interpreting geologic and human history. But as of now, the scientists' questions have been left unanswered, and it remains just this pretty looking place where people can't even go. Although selenite and gypsum can be used to make plaster, drywall, joint compound, and agricultural soil treatment, we believe that this landform will be left untouched for both the sheer beauty and danger to extract all the natural resources. Now, although this cave isn't explicitly depicted in the fictional world, but rather in informational documentaries or YouTube videos, there are several nods to beauty of these crystals and the meanings behind them. We see them shown in films as powerful things. Selenite is even thought to offer protection of one's aura, energy and environment, and to cleanse blockages in meditation, aiding to lift one's awareness to higher planes of inner experience. The caves have both scientific and spiritual or metaphysical meanings.
This is from the Cave of the Crystals in Nika, Mexico.